So since we've been shooting photos all morning,
Yeah.
we have built up a pretty big appetite. So now we are on the hunt for some breakfast. And we arrived a little later last evening, but from what I've seen in my research, this city is going to be a bit of a culinary experience for sure. So we're excited to explore that. We're going to show you our entire day here today, and then tomorrow I'm going to go into shooting some video and then talking about sort of my thoughts and behind the scenes on that. But this city is wild to navigate if you haven't ever been here before. I don't know how people do it with maps.
No, I don't.
Like a paper map.
Yeah.
You really need an app.
Yeah.
So, along with today being a day where we scout a lot of locations for taking photos and video tomorrow morning, it's actually our food tour day, and we typically have one of those days when we're traveling a city. We wanted to experience a lot of the sort of highly recommended and also hidden gems. Now, this place isn't a hidden gem, but the place behind us here, this little sandwich spot, as Bafina's, is highly recommended. It's Bafina's and Prego's are sort of Portugal's little pork sandwiches, and I think Prego's a beef sandwich. In one of Anthony Bourdain's episodes, he highly recommends eating one, and he actually even has one for dessert at a restaurant that we're going to tonight. But this place is pretty much where all the locals go. You have a sandwich and a little beer, and it's extremely cheap and extremely tasty. So if you're here, make this one of your lunch stops or snack even. It's really delicious. It's so good that I might even have another one, but I don't want to get too full because we have a lot of eating to do today. So we just spent a little bit of time at Time Out, and it's a cool little market for sure, a little out of the center of everything. Great to get a dose of all of the great food spots in Lisbon quickly. They always say, if you follow their blog and their website, that they put the good restaurants and what they talk about in their websites, but they always put the best and the greatest in their markets, which in my opinion is slightly debatable. I've seen better market halls, but still a wonderful experience if you have the time to go there. It's a little bit out of the way. We've been spending a little bit of time doing our street shots for the postcards from Lisbon that I'm compiling. But right now we are heading off to Porto to continue the day doing the food tour. What's funny about this is the first dinner of two dinners, and I'll explain a little more why we're having two dinners later. But we're off right now. It's in a beautiful little area, and we're just gonna quickly try to rush over and make a reservation. We have spent the last couple hours this morning shooting video and some photos. And it's incredible how this city has these really unique viewpoints where you can get really amazing landscape shots and see over the rooftops of the buildings. We're at the main viewpoint that a lot of people come to, and it's called
Miradoro de Santa
Lucia. Yeah, Santa Lucia. That's probably the easiest way to remember it. If you get here super early, a lot of other photographers and people are going to be here as well. It's a really popular spot for couples and engagements and weddings, apparently.
Yep.
But what I have noticed is actually my favorite time to shoot is in the blue hour. And what we have noticed is that it is better for a golden hour to shoot here from what we have shot previously a little bit. And mainly the reason is because there's so many layers and textures and everything's built on this hill. You want a lot of the light to come through. And I actually have found that I enjoyed shooting during the midday quite a bit. You just get so many of the buildings blocking the light, and then you get all these light beams shooting through. So if you're on a bit of a time crunch, I would say if you can skip the blue hour if you don't really care about that. You do get a pretty beautiful sunrise out by the water back here for blue hour. But if you had to pick, I would definitely say do the golden hour and do not be afraid to shoot during the harsh sunlight. So last night, the camera died, so we weren't able to finish the end of the evening off. But this morning, we have packed up and we are about to continue the journey on north. And I wanted to wrap this part up, but also explain, I quickly mentioned that we booked 2 dinners last night. And the reason for that is because when we had planned the Lisbon leg of our trip, there were 2 restaurants that I really wanted to eat at. One of the restaurants was Porto. Kat really wanted to go there. And the other one was Ramiro, which was highly recommended by Anthony Bourdain when he filmed his No Reservations episode here. Both those experiences were amazing. Yeah. We didn't purposely book the dinner back to back.
No.
We had originally booked Porto for today for lunch, but then we realized there was a bit of a scheduling conflict with our car rental and the amount of time it would take us to get up to Porto. So we went to Porto, and the only reservation they had available was at 7 p.m. yesterday, and then at 9:30 p.m. for our dinner reservation at Ramiro. We also ended up discovering Vino Vero, which is a wine bar in Venice, our favorite wine bar there, and they had opened up a location here in Lisbon, so we ended off the night there. But what was your favorite part here so far? Just to kind of keep in theme with the favorite parts of Sagres and then now Lisbon.
I think about Lisbon, my favorite part was that first night where we walked around and you could see at all those little like viewpoints, they had so many tables set up and chairs that had everyone was drinking, just enjoying their night, just the vibe. That was my absolute favorite.
Yeah, for me, it's pretty much the same thing. I was reading an article back in the day, and Anthony Bourdain said the first time he came to Portugal, he realized what was missing in North American culture, which is like a lot of like the joyfulness and the gathering of all the people. And here, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the weather or what it is, but there are literally tables littering the streets and all the different levels of the city. You can be walking down one street and then overlooking down onto a street below filled with people. And then it just goes as far as the eye can see of people enjoying and gathering and that community vibe. So we did not spend nearly enough time here in Lisbon, but it's great. We'll definitely come back. But that is pretty much all from Lisbon for now. We are going to continue on the journey to Porto. See you over there.